Stay tuned because the story that I have for you is filled with everything you need for an epic James Bond film. But the person isn't going to be Bond, more like the villain. Anti-establishment, conspiracy theory, and, well, convicted counterfeiter. This is a story you're going to want to stay tuned to. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Frostbyte. And unfortunately, in this day and age, anti-government sentiment is fairly common. But when we're talking about money, specifically numismatics, counterfeiting and fraudulent designing of currency and coinage will get you landing in hot water. This man learned that the hard way. You might know the story, but I bet you I have details that you're probably not aware of. So stay tuned. This act prescribed the specifications of each coin. It's very specific in language, and it required that the obverse of the American coin be emblematic of liberty. Now that would change in 1909 with Lincoln's cent, but it went on to state that the eagle must appear on the reverse, with the exception of a few small coins, which the eagle was too small to appear. It required the use of the country's name on the reverse, and it also allowed for the motto, "In God We Trust." What about Lady Liberty, the female representation on the obverse? If the government, who this dude was totally and utterly opposed to, allowed Lady Liberty to be on the obverse of the coin, then why did he and his company get in trouble for putting Liberty on the Liberty dollar? Well, the fact is, it wasn't due to Liberty being on the coin at all. It was the fact that he had associated a monetized value with the coin. See, in order for a coin to be considered as legal money, it has to have a corresponding law associated with its creation. Very specific processes, and I've outlined that in the video here. You can go check that out. It's a really cool video. It'll tell you all about the legal processes of coin creation. And he didn't follow that. Not only did he follow it, he didn't get federal approval to mint his coins. And because he was not authorized to mint U.S. official money, he was cited and indicted on federal counterfeiting charges. So let's talk about the man. His name is Bernard van Nothaus. Not Nuthouse as in cookie, Nothouse as in like tie the knot. Mr. van Nothaus, the founder of NORFED, which stands for the National Organization for the Repeal of Federal Reserve Act, which this guy didn't really understand acronyms because that acronym says NORFRA. Just saying. To further this guy's stance on the anti-establishment, von Nothaus opened a marijuana church in Honolulu, giving away pot and calling himself a high priest. Yeah. Well, between the time the silver mints coin seizure and the time of the trial, silver value had jumped significantly from $25 to $35 an ounce, and collectors were going mad to get these particular rounds. Of course, anything surrounded by mystique and controversy intrigues collectors. Contraband of this type is extremely collectible to a certain demographic of people. Now, you can still get these on the market today, but if you buy one, beware of the counterfeit. These don't contain any precious metals, and they're all over the place. So if this is something that you're looking to buy and something that is a concern for you, do what I always tell you, buy from a trusted dealer. During the trial, there were a lot of things said about Mr. von Nothaus, but one thing stood out, and that was him being referred to as a domestic terrorist. The language utilized was that his deceptive tactics were utilized to cause disruptions and illegitimize U.S. money. The jury only took 90 minutes to deliberate before passing guilty. The language was clear. It was concise. The defendant knowingly and willingly created coins resembling and similar to U.S. coins. The issuing, passing, selling, and possession of Liberty dollars intended for use as common currency. At a U.S. Treasury briefing, a statement was made clear by Mr. Tompkins. While these forms of anti-government activities do not involve violence, they are every bit as insidious and represent a clear and present danger to the economic establishment of this country. Basically, what he's saying is this was a type of economic warfare, and he was waging war on the United States. Court documents show federal prosecutors sought for forfeiture of all property in the minting operation, including dies, molds, casts, seized from the Sunshine Mint. Now, the Sunshine Mint operates out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Also on the list of forfeiture were 8 tons of precious metals. They included 168,600 silver Liberty dollars, which sold for about $50 or more, and an additional 1,000 pounds of silver bullion and 3,000 pounds of copper. Now, people who had their coins confiscated were gifted back their purchase from the government if they could verify the receipt of purchase, and they used paper transactions and web receipts and things of that nature. But they are just as collectible as they were back then. Don't try to pass them off as real coins, though, because that can land you behind bars. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I hope you enjoyed this, but if you want to know more about the project I did, where I talked about the legal aspect of the minting process, go check out that video here.